Finally, we finalized the Final Giiirl review.
Did you already use the word final?
I don't know.
At least for the final time you could say final.
Okay, final. E.
This is the video for the board game Final Giiirl, the good and bad about it.
By the end of this video, you will know if you should finally try this.
We have 6 deadly questions that we will answer about this game, but before we do that, Giannis, what is this game Final Giiirl all about?
This game is about this girl, or this girl, or this girl.
Or this doesn't work with this one.
No. Or any of the other girls that somehow are final girls, yet there are so many of them. You're playing the Final Giiirl. That is a term from a horror movie where everyone else is dead and you're the one who's trying to survive and kill the killer.
That's exactly how you win. You have to kill the bad guy, usually has life points, but there are other trickeries in different boxes, or you die if you lose all the health.
To play, you will need the core set, which is not playable by itself, and then one of the feature boxes, which have a different killer and a different Final Giiirl and a different location. So when you have 2 of these, you will set up the game, you will run around that location that has some specific special rules, and you will gather items, and you will try to kill the bad guy.
And before we talk about anything else, this is a solo game. So only one player can play this game. The only way how you do anything in this game is by playing cards, and these cards let you walk around, attack, heal, search, and other things. But there's a trick with all of these cards, where whenever you play a card, you also have to roll a dice and see how well you played the card. And these star icons mean that you do the action better. These icons mean that you have to play other cards to do it somewhat well. And there's these empty spaces which mean bad luck, buddy. You won't do anything in this turn.
So how the round goes is play as many cards as you want. Some of the cards will have time cost, and then you can either stop and save some time, because that will be important in the next step, or if there's no more time, you can't play any cards and the round ends. In the next step, what will you do is you will get more action cards. Or, the very important part is when you spend these cards, they go away and you'll have to buy them again.
And after you have bought new cards for the next round, then the baddie will go. He does his basic action where he usually moves and hits, and then you draw a terror card. Where they move again, hit again, do crazy stuff, maybe pull out events that change the board. There's tons of variety in this game where there are different Final Giiirls you can choose, there's different monsters, there's different territories, many items that give you powers when you attack. It's just tons of things in this one small box. 2 small boxes.
Two small boxes.
At least 2 small boxes. And the theme. Oh boy, the theme.
Well, I guess we'll talk more about that as we head to the first question.
Which is?
Who would you get this for?
3, 2, 1. Watch horror movies alone?
Random solo player who watches slasher movies? I forgot.
Because this game, visually, thematically, mechanisms-wise as well, is a very cinematic feeling. And especially if you put on a soundtrack while playing it. It's a very, very similar feeling to being inside of a horror movie.
And when I said random solo player, I didn't mean like random solo player. I meant you're fine with random. You don't mind or even enjoy slasher films or that type of setting, and you really like narrative in your games. Let's just get to what are the best things about this game, okay? So my third best thing about this game is going to be how variable that can be. And there's so many things that go into this. You buy a set, it comes with a location, the killer, and Final Giiirls. And you can mix and match these any way you want. That's only one thing. The second thing is it can be random, but that's a good thing, at least for me. Events come up random, terror cards, you don't use all of them in one play. Some you won't see for games to come. Dice will come up differently. Every game feels different-ish, even though you're playing the same setup.
My second thing as well is variety. I agree with everything you said. All these decks, tons of different cards that feel completely differently, and you will just go through maybe 2, 3 from each deck. You never know. You never know how this game will go. My third best thing is health. A very small thing that I really enjoyed it because I found it. It's very thematic and it's very unique. When you almost kill the bad guy, the last health token is not this wooden thingy, but this one. And then you have to turn around and see, did you kill it or not? it always helps you feel into that game at the end as well. It's not just where you calculate, okay, I need to this card and I win for 100%. No, it's always this, will there be health points? You have to be prepared for anything, and it's a very small thematic thing that I think in general shows you how they implemented a lot of small things to just embrace the theme.
Okay, my second best thing is going to be the narrative. This, to me, feels similar to Nemesis. Here there are more text on cards than in Nemesis, but still the narrative feels like what they call emerging narrative, is that how things happen, you're like filling it out the gaps by yourself, and you're like, yeah, right, that happened because I opened the door and then that guy died. And feels very thematic, even if you lose, even if it doesn't go your way.
Adding to that theme, yes, narrative, all the bad guys really feel unique and different. They add to this horrible theme, and I think it's by far the strongest thing in this game.
My first best thing is going to be time. It's a quick game. It's less than an hour with all the setup. It doesn't take a lot of space. This is pretty much the whole setup game. This is the by far that takes the most, just laying out cards, but you can probably work around that. So for me, I can set it up, play it, and pack it in all within 1 hour. Second of all, it wasn't that expensive to try it, because I just got the core set, I got one set. I'm gonna try it. And did I like it? Nah, we'll see. Why this game might not be for you.
Swingy. It's very swingy. You never know what kind of movie you will get into this time. Will it be a good one? Will it be a bad one? Will it, be a long one or short one? You don't know. It really depends on the bad guys. Some are not that bad, like this guy is, well, he's bad, but he's not that kind of bad. There is the ghost one,
the poltergeist,
ridiculous, who basically shuffles an item card in one of those decks, and you have to find him, and it's just matter of time. Either this thing will happen or this thing will happen, and I won in like 2 or 3 turns. I just found it. It was ridiculously dumb. And then there were games that were really, really cool and exciting and went down to the wire. So swingy, and you never know what you're getting into.
Okay, mine's gonna be on the lower side. It's the weird buy-in. You need the core set, which you cannot play, and then you need one of the sets, which you don't know which one to get. Cause like you said, for example, the Maple Lane set, really great. The location's fantastic, the killer is really unique. Nice set. Then you get the Creech Manor one, where there's the poltergeist, which you cannot kill at all. The only way to win is find the little girl, which is randomly shuffled into items. You might not enjoy that one at all. And you're like, what is everyone so happy about this game?
For me, it's also a lower one, but the setup, I don't find it like quick. But there's tons of cards that you need to set up, especially if you try to mix things up. And the last thing and the biggest thing for me, and it comes together with the swinginess, is the bad feels. Well, why are you in this hobby? To have a good time, right?
Yeah.
And this game is like ups and downs for me all the time, and not like exciting ways, but like really at times I feel like this is just And the other thing is that when you are doing bad, you will do much worse. And when you are doing really good, you can just steamroll through the character, which I really dislike.
How long is the Honeymoon?
3, 2, 1. Sneakily addictive. Because of the variety, I think, you always feel like, I wonder what's gonna be in the item decks next time. As well as the expansions themselves, I feel like, I play this, okay, this is how it works, I kinda know. But I wonder how they will make, like, aliens. So there's a lot of addictive things. When you finish the game, you always feel like as well, hey, I wonder what if I would have bought that game, or what this card will do. Just because there's tons of things that you did not see and did not witness, you always feel like, I think I wanna play one more session.
Well, I wrote down exponential. If you like the game, and each set you buy and add, more things you can mix, new Final Giiirls, new killer, new location, is just, I mean, by like 5th feature box, you're set for life. But what is the best alternative to this game?
3, 2, 1. Hostage Negotiator?
That's the obvious one.
Because 2 things. 1, I don't think there's like a clear-cut alternative to this, because it's very unique with what it does. If you want a horror game that's very cinematic and you're okay with the randomness, then I think this is, the game. This game is based on this one, Hostage Negotiator, and I thought it's a really good place where we could talk about, hey, this is the original. What did they do? Better? Maybe worse?
They did better.
They did much better.
Like I mentioned already before, I feel that like narrative-wise, this for me is very similar to Nemesis. Because Nemesis is also can be random, it can be swingy for me. You can die because of the things you couldn't control, just happened. Yeah, Nemesis is not a solo game. It's actually its best at 4 or 5, but it does have the Untold Stories campaigns, which I have not tried yet. For me, Nemesis and this narrative-wise feels super similar. Yeah, well, let's get to the final review part. Let me tell you folks, this board game is a kaleidoscope of rainbow spaghetti, swirling in a tornado of cosmic mayhem where the only way to win this is to embrace the chaos and let your mind transcend the limits of space and time.
That's too long for a review, mate.
Fine. I'll narrow it down. Okay.
Anyways, ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. This is my final rating.
Okay, it's a must-have.
For me, it's a roller coaster. I know we don't have such a rating, but at times when I play this game, I feel like, oh, this is really good. The thematic feeling, a lot of genius things. I think the game designers are just geniuses with a lot of things that they have done. Really, really nice. And a lot of points, I felt like I can't recommend this. And it generally, for me, it's the main mechanism. Rolling the dice and this horror track, I just don't enjoy it. I feel like I'm always kind of fighting the same fight all the time. 3 dice, 2 dice, 3 dice, 2 dice. Basically, a lot of things that other people will enjoy. I'm just saying, for me, it was just a bad feel. And because of the swinginess, it's up and down, it was really hard to rate it. But I just went with the middle way, which is okay. A little bit too much random. That makes me feel a lot of times that I want a bit crunchier game for me.
The theme is the main thing, and then mechanisms just don't have to ruin it for me, and they don't in this game. Go into this thinking I will like this. I actually hold out for a very long time to purchase this, but I thought, okay, everyone's talking about it. Our supporters have talking about it. Gotta try it, and we need to rank the solo game some point this year again. So are we? Do we?
Yeah, we should.
And I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a go. Skip 2 months forward. Right after this video, I'm going to pick up 5 more expansions that are waiting for me.
5?
I have a problem. It's a must-have for me. This probably, consensus from both of us, is something you want to try and need to try, and then figure out if that's something you want to purchase yourself.
I hope you know if this game is for you. Be sure to leave a comment about what you think about this game, and be sure to also do lovely things that help us make these videos, because without you, we can't. Hit you on it, like it, subscribe it.
Yeah. Even comment it on the video. Every interaction helps.